Hey, you guys. It is me, Angela Smith of AnJaNell and the AnJaNell Online Sewing University, where we help you to master the basics, build your skills and confidence, and create some of the hottest trends in the fashion industry. And we're doing it all virtually, all right? So today we're working on pants. You should have already grabbed your measurements. So what you see right now on your screen, you see all of the supplies that you're going to need. I have my yardstick. I have some sharp scissors. I have my curved ruler, my measuring tape, a regular ruler. I have a pen as well as a Sharpie. And then I have my measurements. Now for pants, you guys, it's a lot of steps. Okay. The pattern can be really, really tedious. When you're looking at like a lot of YouTubers, you'll see people who just take their pants that they already own. They'll put them together. They'll just kind of lay them out and trace around them. But you're not really learning how to make a pattern. Okay. You need to learn how to make the pattern because trust me, even though it's tedious, once you get this pattern down packed, you'll be able to make any type of pants that you want, okay? So let's dive straight in. I have my muslin already spread out. I have it ironed. I got out as many wrinkles as I could. And I even have some instructions kind of off to the side. This is how I learned how to make a pattern. It's a lot of steps. So what I plan on doing is actually typing that up for you so that you can print those off and you can follow these instructions, okay? But I'm going to go through them rather quickly so that you can see what the pants measurement is all about, okay? So I'm going to move everything off to the side, and I'm going to just kind of dive straight into it. You want to make sure when you start drafting this pattern, you start on the left side. So I have my muslin kind of all the way off to the side of my table that I use, because when you start doing like the crotch line and all of that, you're adding onto the right side of this fabric, okay? Or of the muslin. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into it. The very first thing that you're going to do, it tells you to draw a line by taking the large hip measurement and you're going to divide that by 4, okay? So take your hip measurement and divide that by 4. Another thing that you want to make sure you're doing is you want to make sure you measure out your length. I have about 2 yards of muslin here. You want to make sure that you have enough. If you just measure from the top of your muslin down to the bottom, use your waist to floor measurement and just make sure you have enough because you're going to need all of that. And of course, give yourself a little bit more room at the top, okay? So we're going to make this line and we are going to mark this A and B. When you mark, make sure you're marking under the line because we're going to transfer all of our marks over. So we did the hip divided by 4. The next thing it says from A and B, take the length of your pants and you're going to do that line and you're basically creating a big rectangle here. And make sure that that is as straight as you can possibly get it, all right? All right, and then you're supposed to connect it here at the bottom, but I'm just using the straight edge of my fabric, so I automatically have the rectangle. The next step says, now you're going to label that, and you're going to label that A1 and B1. A1 and B1. All right. So the next step tells me to connect A1 and B1 in the rectangular shape. From A, using the crotch line, okay, which you should have your measurements in front of you, you guys. Using your crotch line, go down and mark the number 1. So we're going to go down. For me, that was 14 and a half. So we're just going to go down and we're going to mark the number 1. Then you're going to do this same thing from B and you're going to mark the number 2. And of course, you're going to connect those 2 lines. So you're connecting. And let's go ahead and label it, okay? This is your crotch line. Okay? Next thing we're going to do, it says from A, go down 10 centimeters, which is equivalent to 4 inches, and mark it the number 5. Do the same thing on the other side from B. Go down the 4 inches and you're going to mark that 6. Okay? Mark that 6. Then you're going to connect these 2 lines, and this is called your small hip. So you're going to label this your small hip. Okay? The next step says from the number 5, go down 10 centimeters. Okay? So another 4 inches and mark it J. So I made a mark, made a little dot, and I marked that J. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. From 6, you're going to go down those 4 inches and you're going to mark it H1. H as in Henry, 1. And guess what, guys? We are just going to connect those 2 lines. Make sure it's exactly even. Connect those 2 lines. And guess what this is called? This is your large hip. Okay? So you have a rectangle with a lot of different rectangles in it. All right? Let's keep going. Now, after you have your large hip, it says from A, go in 2 centimeters and mark M as in Mary, 1. So what it means by go in, you're going inside. So from A, go in 2 centimeters, okay? Don't get it confused with inches. That's why I wanted you to have your regular ruler, because you're going to be doing a lot of flipping, dealing with inches and centimeters for doing pants, okay? So we're going in 2 centimeters and we're marking it M as in Mary, 1. Okay? Then it says, and connect M1 to the large hip in a curve. So you're connecting M1 to the large hip. It's really a slight curve because keep in mind, it's only 2 centimeters that you went in. So you're just going to line that up. Sort of hard to do because it's so small. But I'm going to take my curved ruler. Or if you like, guys, you can just freehand it. Because it's literally just a small curve. Just like that. Okay? Next, what we are going to do, it says from B, you're going to go down 1 centimeter and mark it K. Go down 1 centimeter and mark it K. And this is what I'm going to do. Let's move it a little bit closer so that you guys can really see what I'm doing here. Keep in mind, I'm still learning this whole camera thing while I'm recording. It's still new to me. So All right, so we're going to go down 1 centimeter and we are going to mark it K. Okay. Now, the next thing that we are going to do, it says connect K to M1 in a broken line. So M1 is here. Okay, M1 is up here. K is here. So it's basically just a really slight line. Keep in mind, we only went down 1 centimeter. I'm going to take my pen for this one and get it first. Then I'm going to go in with my marker. Because keep in mind, my marker is really just kind of for recording purposes. But that's what it looks like. Just a small little bitty line up there. Okay? Then it says, from K, go down the measurement of the crotch, add 1 centimeter, and mark it C. So we're going to go down the measurement of the crotch. Okay, mine, again, I keep saying it was 14.5 inches. So keep in mind what yours is. So I'm just going to kind of make a little bitty mark at the 14.5 inches because don't forget, I got to add also 1 centimeter on top of that. There we go. And we're going to mark that C. Okay, let's keep going. From C, go out 1/4 of AB and mark it D. Okay, so what do they mean by that? You need your AB measurement. That was the first measurement that we did. So you should have made a note of that. If not, just take your ruler and measure it, okay? And what you're going to do is whatever that number comes to, you're going to take 1/4 of that. So divide it by 4. And then you're going to go out from C that number and mark it D. Okay. So that is D. Let me move my D over a little bit on the inside. Okay. Then it says measure line CK. K is here. C is here. You're going to measure that line and divide it by 3. Okay, I told you this was a little bit tricky. So I need my yardstick for this one. I'm going to take that measurement. Okay, make a note of what that measurement is. I'm going to divide it by 3. So whatever number you get, divide that by 3. So I should have added that you also need a calculator. Unless you're really good at doing this by hand, I do like my little measurements up here on the top because I like to do it by hand. Okay, so I already have that measurement. So after you divide it by 3 from C, go up that measurement and mark it H. So I have my number in my head. I'm going up that measurement and I'm going to mark it H. Curve D to H in a straight line from D to B1. So you want to curve D to H and do a straight line from D to B1. So let's curve D to H. D was here. H is here. I have my curved ruler for accuracy, but again, you can freehand this. My pen is going out. There we go. All right, so I have a slight curve in there. I'm just going to take my pen and curve that in, okay? Then it said a straight line from D to B1. B1 was at the bottom. So let me move my camera back. Back in position for you. Zoom out. There we go. So take my yardstick and I'm going to do from D to B1. It says a straight line, but I mean, as you can see, it's really a little slant. And look, this is almost a completed pants pattern, okay? So it says measure line A1, B1, and divide it by 3. So keep in mind, A1, B1, that's the same as A and B. So if you divide that by 3, put that number in your head or mark it down. Take that number from B1 and go in E. So whatever number that is, you're going to make a mark and go in E. Draw a vertical line all the way up to AB. So you're going all the way back up to the top. So what I like to do, since that's going to be a very long line, is I'm just going to go in here, whatever number I got, and for me it was about 3.5. I'm just going to go in here and make little marks just to ensure that my line is going to be perfectly straight. I'm just going to do just random little marks just to make sure that it's going to be perfectly straight. And let's make those marks. Going to connect it from the top basically all the way to the bottom. Make sure it's straight, guys. As straight as you could possibly get it. Uh-oh, my pen is going out again. I have a couple of different pens here in case that happens. And I'm just verifying. I'm really big on the accuracy. Here we go. Got all my dots lined up. And we are just going to go all the way up to the top. And I'm just going to do that just with my pen. Okay. Then it says from A1. Okay, A1 was up here. Oop, nope, A1 was down here. Sorry. From A1, go in 1/3 of A1 and E. So A1, we just marked this new line E. So you're going to grab that measurement. You're going to grab that measurement and you're going to go in. And you're going to mark that E1. Then it says connect E1 to the crotch line. Okay? The crotch line was here. So you're connecting basically 1 and E1. So I'm going to, let's see if I can do it. Nope, I need my yardstick. So what I'm doing here is I'm just basically going in. There we go. And let me do that with my marker so that y'all can see it. It's a lot, but trust me. You know, like I stated in the beginning, once you master this pattern, you can make whatever kind of pants you want. Okay? So we have that line in there. Then all that's left to do is this. We got to create darts at the top of this pants pattern. Okay, if y'all know anything about a pants pattern, you're basically already there. All we're doing darts at the top, because don't forget, we took 1/4 of the hip measurement. The hip is always about 5, 10 or more inches larger than the waist. So what the darts do, the darts actually allows you to cinch the waist in, and you'll learn how to sew a dart in as we go along. So I'm going to move my camera again back up to the top half of my pants, so that you can see how we do the darts, okay? So, to create darts, first thing you're going to do is you're going to divide K and M1, so this line to this line. You're going to divide that by 3. And then you take that number from K and you're going to go in and mark X. Okay? So you're measuring this. You're dividing it by 3. Just make a mental note of that. Then from K, you're going to go in that measurement and mark X. Okay? From X, you're going to go down 12 centimeters and mark Y. 12 centimeters and mark Y. Okay? The next thing you're going to do is connect X and Y. I already did it. From X, go out on each side 1.5 centimeters and then connect them to Y in a diagonal line. So from X, you're going to do 1 centimeter on both sides. 1.5, I'm sorry. 1.5 centimeters. So I'm just going to make my mark at 1.5. Come over here, make my mark at 1.5. And then we're going to connect those to Y. I used to love sewing darts in fashion school. They were hard at first, and they got easier and easier. I love the look of them once you put them in the pants. So this is what a dart looks like in a pattern. Okay? So you have that all connected. Then you're going to measure X and M1. So in the middle of this dart, now you're going to measure from here to M1. Okay? This is your side seam, by the way. So when you do that measurement, and you can do it in inches or centimeters, whichever one. I do inches. Okay? So once you do measure M1 and X, you're going to divide it by 2 and mark W. Now you're going to take this measurement, basically, you're going to take that number and divide it by 2. Keep that number in your head. Then you're going to go in from M1 that number. Okay? And when you go in, you're going to mark that W. From W, we're going to go down 10 centimeters or to the small hip. Small hip we already marked right here. So you're basically just connecting it to your small hip. And it's okay that I wrote through there. Then guess what we're going to do? The same thing. We're going to go out 1.5 centimeters here, 1.5 centimeters here, and we are going to connect this. Down here where we connected it to the small hip, we're going to write Z, the letter Z. So now let's go out 1.5 centimeters on both sides. 1.5 centimeters on both sides, and we are going to connect that in a dot. In a dart. I said a dot. In a dart. Okay? So we have two beautiful darts here. And now we only have just one more thing left to do. For a better fit around your knee, okay, if we want to make alterations to that, we're going to go to the letter K. K is up here. And we're going to go down using the waist to knee measurement. Okay? Mine was 22 inches. So I'm going to go down 22 inches. And we're going to mark it R. I'm going to have to move my camera again. Sorry, guys. Okay. So from here to here, make a mark. And we are going to mark that R. Okay, from R, we're going to go straight across the D and B1 measurement. The D and B1 measurement. So this is the D and the B1 measurement. Basically, all it's saying is you're just going to go straight across. You're going to do a straight line. And when you do that straight line, you're going to label that R1. So we got R1. Now it says from R1, go in 2 centimeters. So we're just working literally with this little bitty portion right here. We're going to go in 2 centimeters. And when we go in that 2 centimeters, we're going to mark that V. Connect D to V and then V to B1 in a curve. D is here, V is here. Going to connect those, and then you're going to connect V to B1 in a curve. Just get my yardstick. I like to kind of do a straight line first. It's not going to be much of a curve, but you see it has like a small little bitty point, but you see it kind of already curved naturally. And guess what, guys? You have your basic front pants pattern all together. All right, good job. We're going to mark this front pants. P-A-N-T. Front pant. And now we are going to do the back. Before we get into the back, let me add this one thing. We're going to cut this out. So we are going to cut this curve, okay? We're going to cut that off basically. We're cutting this. We're cutting this slant line, okay, to the K, not to the B, around. Then we're going to go in here, do that curve to the bottom. And then as far as this side right here, we're doing this inside line. That is your pattern.